Hey everybody, Gettysburg 159, and I'm standing at one of my favorite places on the whole battlefield. Now, unfortunately for me, there's like 60 of those places, but this one has to be in the top 10. This is East Cemetery Hill. I'm Garry Adelman. We've got Evan Portman behind the camera over there, and we're going around and trying to talk and drill down Gettysburg into units and into individual soldiers as we can. I'll encourage you to watch the more than 150, no wait, 350 other videos we've presented on Facebook and on YouTube on this battlefield to check out other things that you might like. Do a creative search and I think you'll find what you're looking for somewhere among our stuff. We're going to talk mostly about July 2nd, 1863, where there's a massive attack launched upon this hill here. But before that, just know that on July 1st, 1863, Oliver Otis Howard, who you can see up there, has the foresight to leave, I think, 24 cannons, maybe it's 20, up on Cemetery Hill. And this area east of the Baltimore Pike, now known as east of Cemetery Hill or East Cemetery Hill, up on this site. He also leaves 2 brigades. One of those will be necessary, Coster going out to fight, and one is up here, and it provides a perfect rallying point for the Union soldiers. And when they come here, they're met by cannons, met by soldiers, and met by General Winfield Scott Hancock in his crisp white shirt and calming the troops. And him and Howard get together, they figure out where to put the troops, and things go pretty well. So Hancock and Howard already saw plenty of Union artillery up here, but it might have been facing mostly toward town. That's where the Confederates are coming to. Later, though, the 1st Corps Artillery, under the command of a guy named Charles Wainwright, who left, bar none, if you ask me, the best single diary of any of the Union artillerists in the East. You might not like the guy very much, but you will like his diary. It's called The Diary of Battle. Great book, and he tells great stories about this hill right here. And he's got numerous batteries. He's got Stewart's battery that had been fighting over at Lee's headquarters, and he's got Weidrich's battery right here. And to talk about that, I'm going to switch places with Evan Portman, who's going to talk a little bit about Weidrich and see what I can learn.
All right, thanks, Garry. So we're up here on East Cemetery Hill, kind of halfway through Michael Weidrich's battery, and he's commands a German battery, mostly German soldiers. The 11th Corps is an ethnic or mostly German unit that fights here on the first day and the second day of the Battle of Gettysburg. So when he digs in up here, and the other artillerymen dig in up here, throughout the entire day on July 2nd, they are going to mark this field that's out in front of me over here. So they will know exactly what fuse to use, what kind of shot to use. So this will be a killing field by the evening of July 2nd, 1863. So when the Confederates finally launched their attack on July 2nd, men of Isaac Avery's brigade are going to come up over here, and the Louisiana Tigers are going to come up over this hill and engage some of Leopold von Gils's men and some of Adelbert Ames's men from the Union 11th Corps. And once they break that line, some of the Confederates are going to come up over this ridge and threaten these guns that are here that we're standing amidst. And some of the Confederates are going to come from the direction of town as well. So Michael Weidrich finds his battery in jeopardy, much like the other batteries on Cemetery Hill, and they're going to resort to hand-to-hand combat and using anything they can find to defend their guns. So hand spikes, rammers, anything that they can use to defend their guns to the last. And as one Confederate comes up over the lunette and he plants his hand on one of the guns of Weidrich's battery, he says something to the effect of, "I claim this gun in the name of the Confederacy." And the German gunner, who's in the number 4 position, says in German, then "Du sollst sie haben," which means then you should have it. And he yanks the lanyard, and the contents of the cannon end up in front of the Confederates. So this is a very gritty hand-to-hand fight up here on East Cemetery Hill. Also one of my favorite locations on the battle, much like Garry, but great place to come out and visit, and not too far from the town.
All right, good. Let's switch positions again here. So I already have some observation. First of all, I didn't know we'd be going all international here. He's breaking out Weidrich, and then we've also got some German going on in there. I hope you all enjoy that, and I'm sure you're going to comment on his pronunciation. How did he do there? 2, I'm going to comment on his pronunciation because, man, a lot of people call him Adelbert Ames, but Garry Adelman definitely prefers the pronunciation Adelbert Ames. Thirdly, he was mentioning some lunettes over there. Those are the half-moon shaped protectors for the cannons. You can see them right here. okay? And you're gonna ask me if these are original? Yes, they are. They've been perfected by the War Department and by the park, but this is the half-moon shaped loon around the cannon. You can make huge lunettes that can hold whole regiments like the 3rd Louisiana, a 2nd Texas lunette at the battlefield of Vicksburg. And it's because of these lunettes that this battlefield started to be preserved. In fact, we stand right now on the first 4 acres ever preserved as a park at Gettysburg. David McConaughey, who is in charge of the cemetery across the road, not the Soldiers National Cemetery, but rather the Evergreen Cemetery, decided to preserve 4 acres east of Cemetery Hill, the first use of it we know, right here. The whole 8,000-acre Gettysburg National Military Park sprung from these 4 acres right here, which is just a really cool story. And while we're on preservation, one last thing to close. And that is that in late 2012, I noticed a for sale sign of a house right to the right of those light blue water towers over there. Okay, you could see them. And there was an acre available over there. And I know, and Evan knows, and some of y'all know, that the Union line, the Ohio soldiers contesting the Louisianians coming through town there, is not right where the trees are there now. It is on 2 stone walls further over there, okay? So I knew that that was on the Union line. There are markers over there to the Ohio units who were there, right on that property. So I knew we had to have it, but I wondered what good that would do unless we also bought these woods. And I found those woods are owned by the same municipal authority that controls those towers there. We talked to the borough of Gettysburg. We worked with the municipal authority, bought the house, bought the woods, tore the house down. And together, we've been able to restore some of the Gettysburg battlefield. So a couple of stories on a place you've been before and a couple of examples of the great work you're doing. And because I just can't stop, if we were to come right over here, Evan, I think you could look over this lunette, over the stone wall and see a white house, maybe with a gray house next to it. That is the McKnight House that you, the members of the American Battlefield Trust, have already helped to preserve. You might be able to see the War Museum. Let's sidle a little to the left there. You might be able to see the War Museum right there that we are in the process of trying to preserve. So we appreciate your support in everything we do. We appreciate you watching, and we appreciate you getting interested in our content and for supporting battlefield preservation.